We will now hear the report of the Environment Committee. I call Ethan Ryle.
Kia ora, Mr. Speaker. I now present the report of the Environment Select Committee into its inquiry into how we will meet our carbon zero by 2050 commitments. Climate change has recently and popularly been described as our generation's nuclear-free moment. This is true, but what are we doing about it? Thus far, we've seen significant legislative change occur here in Aotearoa, setting us up with a great starting point and moving us in the right direction. Legislative changes such as the Climate Change Response Act 2002, our very first emissions reduction plan released this May, and even the implementation of He Pō-Orangi, the Climate Change Commission. But needless to say, we are behind the times. And well, Mr. Speaker, time is running out. Over the past 24 hours, the committee has listened and acted on a range of diverse voices. To these submitters, we say that we hear you, we see you, and we tautoko you. The committee acknowledged that the current response to the climate crisis is unfair, inequitable, and unjust. We acknowledge that without social change, there will be no real transformative change. The Youth Parliament Environment Select Committee makes the following recommendations to the Government. 1. Invest in environmental education initiatives, including those that are community-led, that equip children and young people to positively contribute to a low-emission society. This should support Māori and Pacific-led conversations to use Māori and Pacific knowledge to help ensure a representative and equitable transition. Ensure that disabled people are able to participate effectively in these conversations. Consider the appointment of a youth representative between the ages of 12 and 24 years as a board member on the Climate Change Commission, which may require legislative change. 3. Investigate the feasibility of implementing a certification process to increase the consumer awareness of the sustainability of farms and understand how this could be developed in a New Zealand context. 4. Investigate the education and empowerment approaches to achieve climate action and targets, while acknowledging the means of some people that may affect their ability to act. 6. And develop and implement a framework for carbon-emitting organisations that could be monitored by councils and/or government. This could include the setting of goals for different sectors and businesses and introducing incentives. 7. And lastly, Mr. Speaker, consider whether New Zealand's actions to assist Pacific Island nations with climate adaptation are sufficient, with an aim to consider whether a unit should be established at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Trade to oversee that role. Without a doubt, the response to the climate crisis must be a collective response that captures all voices, especially those of Māori, Pacifica, and other climate change-affected communities. We are in the midst of a crisis. We must treat it as such. Kia ora.
Can I apologise to a member? I think might have been seeking a point of order. I thought was going to deliver the report. Is that correct?
Yes.
Are you seeking a point of order?
Yes.
Yeah, point of order, is it Willow Heron?
Yes. I seek to leave to move without debate a motion to expand healthcare.
Motion. Just to say that it is unusual to interrupt this part of proceedings. However, I will put the leave. It's up to the members to decide whether or not they want to interrupt proceedings as such. Leave is sought for that purpose. Is there any objection? There is none.
I seek leave.
Willow Heron.
I seek leave of the House to move without debate a motion that would urge the Ministry of Health to provide appropriate and timely access for transgender and Takatapui youth to access transgender and Takatapui health services with shorter waiting lists and expansive accessible care, as well as greater access to mental health care.
We'll take it that you've moved that. So the question is that the motion be agreed to. Those of that opinion will say aye. Aye. To the contrary, no. The ayes have it. We will now hear the report of the Foreign Affairs, Defence